All right, what's going on, guys? So we're back with another altcoin watch list for heading into next week. We do this every Friday. Um, Obviously, we're gonna do a quick review of last week's picks and how you would have looked to trade them, or how I would have looked to trade them, or how I did trade them. Many of them I did not. I took all of three trades last week, and only one of them was actually on an altcoin. The other two are on Bitcoin. So nothing really too crazy, and probably not going to be too active trading this watch list heading into next week as well. Mostly because it is about as uninteresting to me as that 1 week, following the FTX, bankruptcy, insolvency, whatever. Um, and I was saying, hey, this is probably the worst watch list I've ever put out, and it's probably going to be the worst. Somehow, magically, this week ended up being on par with that week, where I'm just very uninterested in the market. Uh, Not really anything for me to really want to trade realistically. So, yeah, kind of annoying, but at the same time, it gives me a chance to go entertain other aspects of my life as well, which I think is an important part of being a trader. It's the whole collective part of it, right? So, with that said, we'll get into it. Link was on our watch list, and this is the one that really did take a trade on Link. Obviously, that trade did not outperform. So we saw a little bit of push upwards along these hourly 200s, and then immediately after that trend broke down, and you could have, and I should have opted to trade Link towards the short side, but instead I was too busy shorting BTC and kind of just waiting on my hands and watching it do absolutely nothing for like 5 days in a row. So yeah, that was that. But it is what it is. Same exact thing that would have made you bullish on the way up for Link, which did have us bullish, was the exact same thing that would have forced you to adjust, meaning you would have been stopped out and you probably would have looked to trade this to the short side. And I absolutely should have, but you know, hindsight's 2020. So regardless, that is the winner's mindset, is looking to trade trends in both directions. And obviously for Link, we are looking at 15-minute 200 moving averages to scale assumptions based off of, which means that after those moving averages were reclaimed, we said, oh, look, we are geniuses. We bought these hourly 200s. We bought the horizontal demand zones confluence. Our market structure is still pretty much good. Yeah, run this thing back to a new high and maybe into $8, maybe, higher than that and whatever. And that is a winner's mindset. But as soon as those 15-minute 200s break all over again, that probably tells you that, oh, you actually just locked in a lower high. So from here, if you go on to create a lower low, now you're downtrending, right? So you go on to create a lower low. At that point, you lose your hourly 200s. You are now in a full fledged downtrend, which means all my stakers, right? All my, hey, it's probably not going to be a sell the news event kind of thing. December 6th came and it absolutely was a sell the news event. This is quite clearly a downtrend. If you're still holding on to that narrative, that thing is behind you. It died a couple days ago and you're still trying to, cope. And you are absolutely complacent. This thing is downtrending. You should be looking to short this. So yeah, 15-minute 200 is now going to be the trend portrayal to the downside. Um, let's kind of run through this a little bit quicker. So FTM was another thing that was on our watch list. I want to say we were looking to trade this along something like hourly 200s as well. I want to say, right, I think so. Hourly 200s. Obviously, that didn't hold up too well. Again, I didn't actually trade this, but it's just an idea. We did break down below the range, and now we're deviating back inside the range. So this technically does imply mid range and then range highs again, just because that price action should have continued to trend downwards. But because we have a more significant high time frame area of support, we managed to hold and actually found ourselves back inside that range. So you could scale assumptions on this as well. But pretty much hourly 200s, if those are fully reclaimed again, you might be able to establish another clean trend. Currently, the range is the thing you probably want to be putting most of your attention on, right? Because that's what we've been trading in for the past couple of weeks or so. So paying attention to that in a mixture of some sort of low time frame trend portrayal, maybe 15-minute 200s, maybe yeah, I think that's probably the best you're going to get. Yeah. So 15-minute 200s, maybe. You can maybe use the 30-minute 200s as well, and just kind of acknowledge the hourly 200s and as like a afterthought kind of thing. So not really all that great. What was the other one? Doge. Let's see. Hold on. So Doge came down to our 4-hour 200 moving averages. That was the high time frame zone of interest that we mentioned, along with some horizontal confluence. All right, so we tapped that region, we bounced from it. Nothing really too significant. Not like a clear cut, outperformer amongst all time frames. Mostly just a high time frame still, and even that is kind of threatening a breakdown, and it will be the case if we do something like this. In which case, you just kind of look for more drawdown. Mana was another one on our watch list last week. This one did not do too well. Oh, actually, no, wait. I take that back. You would have been able to trade this beautifully, actually, considering that this would be your stop loss and you'd be targeting, let's say, something extremely high, right? Because it's a pretty, pretty parabolic kind of trend that you just broke out from. So let's say you're targeting, even if you're just targeting like these highs, you could say 4-hour 200 moving averages along with those, right? That's about a 4 or 5 hour trade in itself. And that's not even really what I would have looked to trade it towards, right? That's only a 10% move. And truthfully, when you have an extreme trend such as this one, that sort of mean reversion is going to be pretty over exaggerated. So realistically, my target would be more along the lines of something like that, right? So obviously that trade gets stopped out, but you're up a lot in terms of unrealized RR by the time that that happens. So technically not really a loss, but obviously the mindset itself you would have been forced to adjust. So we can't say that it was right either. But realistically, you should have been able to trade this and make some money off of it. So hourly 200s per trade that trend. Obviously, that trend is breaking down. What does that mean? You could look to trade this to a short side, right? Other one was QNT. I believe did not hold up as well. Right. Let's see. December 2nd. Yeah. So it did not hold up. There's no way to flip this and make myself look good. We just straight up broke out of the range and then deviated right back inside and just continued downtrending. So not really worthy of interest anymore because now we're just back in the range, which means that we're probably going to see range high, mid range, range low. So that's pretty much it for last week's watch list. So now for this week, the unexciting part is the part where I come in and tell you that, hey, remember when we talked about Monero for 3 weeks ago? Yeah, it's still doing that grindy uptrend. Hey, don't fade this. We're only going up, and in agonizing fashion, kind of thing. Yeah, it's still doing that. So Monero technically deserves to be on the watch list. Again, Monero is not something I'm going to be looking to trade. Tron is another one. It's into pretty much the same exact category. This is a setup that we had drawn out for Tron. So kind of the same gist, right? Tron, you're using hourly 200s, or actually on a low time frame basis, you would use something like 15-minute 200s to scale assumptions in either direction. So if you're going to look to trade this, then you would have positioned along, um, either of those two, along with the breakout of the range and expansion, which means you would, typically expect further expansion away from the range. But again, when Tron is your strongest coin in the market, what does that really tell you? Right? So it tells me, hey, I'm not really going to opt to trade Tron. I can just go, fuck off and do something else better with my time. But it is an option. Technically speaking, it is outperforming the market as of the past few weeks, if not the past month or so. So it is technically worthy of being on the watch list. So another one is optimism. And for this one, I would look at something along the lines of like the hourly 200s because they have been respected historically very, very well as local tops and local bottoms. So the fact that we are still trending above them and just recently broke our market structure in the form of a higher high, right? So we broke our structure. We're back trending bullish. We are still doing that along the region that you would expect us to do that at historically, meaning the past couple of months or so, right? We beautifully respect hourly 200s. So you probably want to keep using them. And it really is that simple. There's nothing too much else to say about optimism. You can find some, low time frame confluence to go along with that idea. Hey, we're kind of using the 30-minute 200s. again, the watch list itself this week is like, rather than looking at a bunch of shit, we're looking at polished shit. So that's really, I mean, this is not like an A plus setup by any means, in my opinion, even though technically it is a valid setup. And in comparison to the rest of the market, it's a fucking beautiful setup, right? It's still, even then, not enough to entice me out of like a 2 week, passively trading retirement to make me want to put down my pina colada and, come and trade optimism. So that's really how I'm thinking about it. And that's the only way for me to kind of describe it. Now, the last one is the one that I'm really excited about, more so than anything else, mostly just because it's in price discovery. So this is TWT, and it's a pretty simple understanding. It's just that if we come down and retest this previous range high, right? So a pretty significant resistance level that we would anticipate to act as support, along with these hourly 200s, which are they extremely notable? And you can argue yes or no, but most recently they were respected. Prior to that, they were respected. And prior to that, they were respected pretty well as well. So that's about as good as I'm able to portray for TWT. So, it falls in line with the thesis of, hey, this general zone needs to hold, right? So if we manage to come down and retest that region somewhere around here, then I think this is worthy of a long, probably headed to that 2.618. And that is based off of the thesis of how you want to look to trade price discovery, which I'm not sure if I have a in detail video describing that concept or the way that I perceive that concept. So I might have to make one, but probably when it's a little bit more relevant and when there are other things in price discovery other than, something as irrelevant as TWT. Ask me what TWT does. I could not fucking tell you, right? But regardless, probably the only thing that I would look to trade heading into next week. I do want to say I missed the whole, AI narrative trend, but that's because it's not a trend. It is a fucking desperate ass narrative that started all of like 3 days ago, and there's no structure here. This is not the point of these videos. It's not, oh hey, let's look for the new hottest, exit rally, scam pump, kind of illiquid shitcoin bullshit. No, that's not the point. I want to be able to see structure. I want to be able to trade trends. I want to trade it on a time frame that I'm comfortable with, right? I don't want to have to feel like I'm forcing myself to take action onto something and you know trade in a condition when I'm not comfortable in something like narratives and hey, if you wanted to trade FET, you better either have hopped into the trend very very early prior to the exit rally scam pump that is probably going to fade away, sometime in the near future, or you're trading the 3 minute chart, right? It's like I don't want to have to trade the 3 minute chart. That's not where I thrive. So that's not really the point of these videos. So obviously, when we come and make a video on Friday and then on Wednesday, right in between the next video, a new narrative hits and everything pumps 50% in like, overnight, it's probably not going to be worthy of my attention even then. So that's not to say that a true, established high time frame trend couldn't form as a result of this exit pump. It absolutely could. I'm aware of that, but it's just not really something I'm able to entertain yet. So if that happens, it happens, and we'll adjust into it, or at least I will. And if it doesn't happen, then I told you so. It was a fucking exit rally. It's scam pump, and it's a desperate ass narrative. And we're playing hot potato for 50% pumps on illiquid shit coins overnight, and then you're getting dumped on. You're acting as other people's liquidity, and you're probably not having too much fun. So I'm sorry if this video was not as entertaining or as educational as the previous videos. Truthfully, it's about damn time that one of them isn't. Like I send out a video and it just absolutely flops. The whole watch list thing. I think the point has been proven that consistency and just 15 minutes and once a week worth of your time is going to set you apart from a lot of market participants and immediately put you in a much better position than most people. So I think that's kind of the point that I was getting or trying to get across, and I think so far we've done a really good job of that. So yeah, if you guys have benefited from these videos in any way, shape, or form, please use my Bybit referral link if you want to support me. Also, there is a PS5 giveaway. So I'm giving away a PS5. I will announce the winner on Christmas. So that actually is being done on the Bybit, backend through user ID for anyone who is signed up under my referral link. So it's going through my Bybit rep. I'm going to send it to him and say, "Hey, you pick the winner." He's going to send the winner back to me. So it's a whole, process kind of thing so that nobody can say, "Oh, you fucking rigged this shit. You scammer. You just want to get people signed up to your ref link." I do want to get you signed up to my ref link, but ethically, right? So I'm going to give away a PS5 to anyone who's currently on my Bybit link, and if you're not currently on, all you have to do is register and deposit at least $100, and that's what makes you eligible to participate in that giveaway. So then you have a pretty decent chance of winning, if I do say so myself. So I hope you guys enjoy these videos, and yeah, thank you so much for your support. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Send this to your grandmother so that she can kill the crypto markets as well. And yeah, much love. Take it easy, guys.